vertical asymptotes, we are going to set the denominator equal to 0. So I have x squared minus 2x minus 8 equals 0. And so I'm going to factor it. And then set both factors equal to 0. So I have to figure out, this is an easy factor since it's just x squared in the beginning. So that's x times x. So now I'm just going to look at the last number is negative 8. What two numbers multiply together gives me negative 8, but when I add them gives me negative 2. That's negative 4 and a positive 2. So that means my two factors are x minus 4 equals to 0. So that means my first vertical asymptote is x equals 4, and then x plus 2 equals to 0. So that means my second vertical asymptote is at negative 2. Okay. So now before I graph that, I have to see what kind of vertical asymptotes is that going to be. Is that going to be a infinite discontinuity? So is it a straight vertical line, or is it going to be a hole? So in order to do that, I have to also factor the top. So that's an easy factor too, because it's just x squared in the beginning. So then what two numbers multiply together gives me negative 4, and since there's no middle term, that's 0. So that's negative 2, and that's positive 2. So if you remember when I factored the bottom, it was x minus 4 and x plus 2. So if you notice, the x plus 2's are going to cancel out. So that means there's going to be a hole right there. Okay. So I can go ahead and graph x equals 4. So that's just and that's an infinite discontinuity, so that's just a straight vertical line because my factor did not cancel out. Okay. And I'll come back to what the hole looks like once I start graphing the actual graph. So now I'm going to go and find my horizontal asymptote. So remember, I'm going to look at my leading term of both of my polynomials. So that's x squared on top and x squared on the bottom. So since my exponents are equal to each other, that means there's going to be a horizontal asymptote at a over b, and a and b are the coefficients in front of x squared, so that's 1 and 1, which is just 1. So that means there is a horizontal asymptote at y is equal to 1. Okay, so now that I've graphed my asymptotes, I'm going to go ahead and plug in points. So I'm going to go ahead and first find my y-intercept because that's always the easiest. So when I plug 0 squared minus 4 all over 0 squared minus 2 times 0 minus 8. So 0 squared minus 4 is minus 4. 0 squared minus 2 times 0 minus 8 is negative 8. So that's 1/2. So 0, 1/2. So now I'm going to pick another point, and so I'm just going to pick a positive 2. So when I plug in a positive 2, that's 2 squared minus 4 all over 2 squared minus 2 times 2 minus 8, but 2 squared is 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. So 0 over 2 squared, which is 4, minus 4 minus 8, so that's minus 8. So that's x is 2, y is 0. Okay. So when I graph it, it's going to look something kind of like that. But remember, my hole is at x minus 2. So when I graph my rest of my line, it's going to be a hole right here. And then I'm going to graph the rest of my line, which is like that. Okay. Now I'm going to pick some more points so I know where it is on this side of the graph. So I'm just going to randomly pick x is 5. So that's 5 squared minus 4 all over 5 squared minus 2 times 5 minus 4. So that's 5 squared, which is 25, minus 4, which is 21, all over 25 minus 10 minus 4, so that's 25 minus 14, which is 20, which is not 14, sorry. I can't subtract anymore. So 25 minus 10 is 15. 15 minus 4 is 11. Okay. And then 21 minus 11 is like 1 point something. So I'm just going to put it like right here. And then I know that my graph is going to go like that. So I'm going to use my asymptotes to graph my rest of my line. And that's it.